Hello, hello, hello. Long time no see. It has been quite a week for me, and I hope that yours has been quite better. There was a death in my immediate family, and so I was spending time with my family and grieving and doing all of those wonderful things, but now I'm ready for some time to get back into tarot and into doing some readings. And so we're going to look at the rest of the May videos and what's coming up for everyone for the month of May. Scorpios already are up. So Scorpios, you can check those out. And this video will be for my Virgos. So Virgos, let's see what's coming up for you for the month of May. That was pretty quick. Knight of Wands. So it seems like things are going to be pretty active for you this month. Maybe a lot of aggressively pursuing some things. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, okay. There may be some unhealthy habits that are coming up for you, Virgo. Some things it's time to take a look at and perhaps see why these are happening. This is wild. A lot of major arcana coming up here for you. I think I need to move this up a little bit. There we go. So we have the Devil card. So that's some unhealthy attachments. It's Capricorn energy. It is an energy of the connections, the decisions that we've decided to make about how we live our lives, and how sometimes those can lead us down a path where we begin to live in a way where we can't see ourselves without this thing. And so what that's looking like is there may have been a tower moment, a moment of awakening, a moment of something perhaps falling apart. There may have been a health issue that came up for you. And from that, you decided that you need to be investing your time and energy into something new. And it gave you some strength. It gave you some hope. It gave you this space of feeling like I really need to trust my instincts. I need to trust what's coming forth for me. So there may have been an unhealthy attachment that you've had. Let me see if I can get a card on just what that unhealthy attachment is specifically. What's that unhealthy attachment for our Virgos? What is the Devil card? And what is that unhealthy attachment? Two of Swords, your indecisiveness. It seems that your indecisiveness has perhaps caused for something to fall apart, cause for you to have missed something, cause for perhaps there was an opportunity that was coming up, a job, an investment, something of that nature. And I say that only because we have the Page of Pentacles coming up right after the Tower card, which means that now you kind of have to invest in something new, invest in something yourself, do the work yourself. So there may have been an outside entity that you were thinking you would work with that didn't come through because you were going back and forth about what decision you needed to make. Perhaps even you were too busy focusing on what others thought you should do instead of trusting your own instincts, following your own path. And that puts you into this space of needing to kind of reassess and move things around. We'll take that one. Okay, so now we have the King of Cups. We have the... move this up just a little bit more. Okay, we have the King of Cups. We have the Eight of Cups. Interesting. We have the Knight of Cups. Oh my. Okay. And who else do we have? Last one. And we have the Hierophant. Okay. So there may be an individual, someone who's very emotionally available, someone who ends up taking care of everybody else's emotional needs, someone who has mastered the energy of water, of flow, of flexibility. This may be you needing to step into this role, or someone else in your life showing up in this way. Part of this is that you are needing to leave a situation behind, one that you're emotionally connected to. Again, it seems like if it is connected to this energy here, perhaps it is literally the devil, in the sense of there may be a Capricorn of someone who, wanted you to make this decision and you were kind of hemming and hawing about it. And now, you're kind of needing to walk away from that. If you look at this, the devil is more earthy energy. The King of Cups is more watery energy. And so this would be kind of a energy of opposites, especially if we were to look at perhaps King of Cups as maybe Cancer energy. So this is like an oppositional energy that's kind of pulling you into these spaces. We have that Eight of Cups, which is needing to walk away from a situation and move on to something else, to go after your own happiness. We have a Knight of Cups, which could be an offer being made. So this is literally like another cup being added again. Knight of Cups, if we were to, so Eight of Cups would go to the Nine of Cups, and then here we have a Knight of Cups, and that Knight of Cups has one additional cup, kind of really walking towards, like we're seeing this literal progression from, if you are willing to leave behind this space that is not everything that you want and desire, you will actually get closer to what will bring you joy and happiness, what it is that feels like a wish that is being made and fulfilled. And part of that is leading you towards this more Hierophant energy, more of a guidance, more of a support system, more of a traditional, perhaps even, way of looking at things. So there's a movement perhaps a little bit away from the energy of a devil to the Hierophant, from an unhealthy attachment to one that maybe is a little bit more fulfilling, a little bit more encouraging, maybe a little bit more supportive. Your final card is the World. Love that for you. We have the World. We have the Emperor. We have the Knight, the King of Wands, and one more. So this seems like this is some fulfillment coming in. We have the Two of Wands, and we have the Judgment card. Yes, you can see that. Okay. So this seems like this is some fulfillment towards you, for you. This is you moving into a much happier, healthier space. We get the Emperor, which is a lot more order, a lot more structure, stepping into more of a leadership role, a lot of calmness, which is very nice for the Tower moment, which would have been something would have thrown you off of your stable ground, would have knocked you off of perhaps, or just caused you to have to move out of the norm. So the Emperor is kind of bringing order back to things. We have the King of Wands, very charismatic, very strong, the Reluctant Leader card, but still understanding that this is the progression of energy and how it's moving forward. Three of Wands, you may want to take a trip, take a vacation. Either way, there is a solid, like, kind of turning your back on the past, turning your back on how things were. And the Judgment card, which is a new beginning. It is a time of, especially with the World card, that means that there is an ending, there is a fulfillment. This cycle has come to an end. Clarification for the Judgment card is the King of Swords in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune. So if this was a time when perhaps you were in a higher position, perhaps you were a teacher, someone who was very religious, someone who was a professor or a CEO, I always kind of call this like my boss kind of energy vibe, but in communication, in spirituality, in something that's very logical, practical, this new beginning would be around kind of turning all of that on its head, maybe, and moving to a space where you're a novice, where you're learning something new, where you're redoing how you communicate and how you relate to other people. And especially, you know, if we're going from a very airy energy to a much more fire, these are all fire. The Emperor is Aries, King of Wands is fire, Mastery of Fire, and the Three of Wands is fire as well. Like, it's a new beginning that's taking you from this kind of theoretical standpoint, praxis, into practice. So actually putting these things and living these things out that you've been studying. And perhaps it's just time for you to go from the student and even the teacher to someone who is living out in the world doing that work. And with that, we even have a Wheel of Fortune. So things turning in your favor. This was something that was divine timing. It needed time to kind of fester and grow, to mature. Perhaps fester isn't the right word, but to mature, so that you'd be ready to step into this role. Perhaps you needed to finish up some studies or finish up some research before you headed fully into that. Perhaps you felt like you were dependent upon having the support of this individual, so you hadn't really, you know, stepped away, walked away from that situation. Your outcome is very interesting. We get all into the swords here, which I think is very interesting, as we just talked about, like this King of Swords being turned on its head. And it seems like as this new beginning comes in, it's kind of throwing you for a loop mentally. I think perhaps this transition is a little difficult. We have a 9 of Swords, which is the overthinking, anxiety, nightmares, staying up, not being able to sleep. It's just you're in your head quite too much. We have a 6 of Swords in reverse. So there's something that has really been negatively impacting your mental health that you haven't left yet. So it seems that emotionally you walked away from a connection. You walked away from a situation that was emotionally unfulfilling for you. It wasn't everything that you desired, but mentally you're still kind of there. Part of this is because there is this connection to your childhood, a childhood desire, a memory. You really may have enjoyed your time with this individual. You may have really enjoyed your role, your time in this place. Somehow I feel like this might be a little bit work related, but you may have really enjoyed this time of your life even, perhaps. And now it's like, oh, I have to leave this. I have to grow up. I have to go and be somewhere else, do something else, because this was not healthy for me. But it is time for you to start thinking about things differently. It is time for you to take a new and different approach. It is time for you to switch these things around, and for you to take this sword in your hand, to take your own mind into your hand, your own way that you communicate and share with others into your hands. And this forward movement, this forward progression, this energetic, excited, going after this new thing, I think it's going to wake you up in a really beautiful, lovely way. All right, Virgos, that's going to be it for the month of May for you. So a lot of exciting things happening, a lot of fulfillment, a lot of changes, it seems like. We do have, let's see, you'll be experiencing the square energy from Venus going through the underworld. We do have, I'm recording this on Tuesday, so it is the new moon in Taurus. So that is going to be lovely trine energy for you. So very supportive. Plant those new seeds for the things that you desire, the beauty, the joy, the peace. And I will do new moon in Taurus videos for Saturday, so you can check out what is going on for you there. All right, that's going to be it. If you'd like a personal reading, go ahead and check out links below to work with me one-on-one. You can also find that information, and I will see y'all later. Have a great one. Bye.